want to show you guys how to solo Velganos today, and just a couple of disclaimers and prerequisites. So right now I'm at 1421 eye level, so I'm quite a bit over. You can start the fight as soon as 1385, and honestly you should start trying to solo at that time to try to get better at clearing it. And it's easier to do alone than it is with a group, because the boss always moves around a lot and there's buffs that you need to pick up. So let's see. So for prerequisites, you want to have at least, this one for Demon Hunter only by the way, you want to have all spec and 1 crit on your necklace, and you also want to have your engraving set up, and you really want grudge for this fight, because most of the time, especially if you're eye level, if you're getting hit by a move, you're just going to be dead either way, and you want it to clear the boss as fast as possible so you don't have to risk or die. So if you die, then that's it. I didn't have clean button when I did this. I had raid captain, so clean button does more damage. So when I did do the clears, I started doing them at 1395, which is 10 eye level over, because that's how long it took me to get my accessories completed, and just class engraving level 3, and that should be good enough. And then for battle items, you only need flares, some potions, and you want to bring stagger nades just in case. Usually you're going to be able to clear without using stagger nades, but sometimes if your stagger rotation is up, then you're going to want to stagger nade it. So let's get into this. I'll show you guys the mechanics as we go. There's 2 party mechanics, or raid wipe mechanics, where this is the reason why it's easier to do alone. There's a stagger check, which if you fail, then he'll wipe the whole party. And there's another mechanic where he has orbs. Every player is going to have an orb over the head, and there's one lit up zone, and whoever's orb goes from white to black, then they have to step inside, or else the party will get wiped. But you don't really have to worry about that when you're doing it by yourself, because you can just go inside. And you just want to have your spacebar up for that mechanic, so you can spacebar right after and just start hitting the boss. Right there I charged up my gauge just because it was on the way, but honestly if the boss spawned over here or something and you didn't charge your gauge, it doesn't really matter, because you should be able to get off in 1 rotation anyways. Usually at the start he's gonna do a little spin and then dash. Yeah, so there's a dash. This is the time where you want to use your charge beam. You for that move right there, and then eye level to get hit by the whole thing, you're probably just gonna be dead. So you want to avoid that, and here's you just want to avoid his dash right there. Just get some damage out. Right there again. You don't want to be using your charge move when it's unsafe. So when he's doing that mechanic right there, then that's a good time to charge beam as long as you're out of it. Right here, he's better breath. That will also one-shot you when you're at eye level. I'm gonna avoid that. That was honestly just a lucky counter. Usually the boss, I don't really go for the counter attack unless it's convenient. For this mechanic, you'd be on his side. This is another good time to use the charge beam in human form, because you can't spacebar out of that move. So you wanna, when you do it, you're gonna have to commit. This is another good time to charge beam, safe. And we're just gonna build up our meter here. Dashes, and then does front attack. You wanna go out when he does a flip like that. Gonna stay on the ground 3 times, and here's the stagger check. So we're just gonna awakening this. There, it's free stagger check. So you're gonna go pick up the orbs. 3 is enough. You want to have at least 3 to do full damage. Now another thing is, if you don't have at least 3 orbs and he does that mechanic, then you might not be able to stagger in time if you're in demon form, because when you don't have 3 orbs, you're not gonna do your full stagger damage either. That's a good time to use a nade, but we didn't have to. So here, we pheromone. Just make it a fast fight. Dash. Now, I've mostly been getting hit by chips, so right there, I got hit by an actual move, so... yeah. It's a good time to charge beam. Get out. Front. Start building up your gauge. For the next stagger check, if we're not in demon form, then we're going to have to throw a stagger nade. Hope for the best. Pick up the light orbs here. Avoid the dash. Every time after he dashes, the next counterable move will always be a breath, so just make sure you're not in front of him when he does that. We're just going to try to lead him out of the corner. It's a good habitat for this fight. Dash. Honestly, right there I should have howled beforehand for more damage. gets to the stagger track right here. Okay, I'm just gonna stagger nade because I don't know if I'm gonna make it. If you're ever not sure, then just go ahead and nade. It's always worth it. Save yourself some time and not waste a life and lose your stacks. So after he does a dash, it's always safe to use your charge beam, which builds up a lot of meter. That and your howl are your two biggest bread and butters for getting gauge. So right there I got hit by a dark attack, so I have a darkness stack right here. So to remove the stacks, you have to pick up a light orb. Here we want to get on his side, safe. And just kind of chill. He's doing. So whenever you see him doing a move that, oh, right here we see pheromone again. Whenever he teleports away. So. Wait, try to pick up some orbs. If there's a flip, you go out. We talked about earlier. We're just gonna spacebar and not lose our stacks. Whenever you see that animation, then he's gonna do a charge. Get out right here. Try to be in the middle because the mechanic's probably gonna start soon. When he gets to 30%, he'll turn red, and then he's gonna start the first little spinning mechanic. Oh, this is a stagger. So I messed up there. I didn't see that he was starting the stagger check, so I'm just gonna run away here. This should be safe. We have our 3 stacks ready. If it's easy to pick up, then you can go for 5. You don't really have to, especially if it's out of the way. And we're just going to focus on building our meter. So this is the pizza mechanic. So the tornado is spinning counterclockwise, so that's how you know which direction he's going. And if you don't have your stacks, you're going to have to do this mechanic. So you would just, I'll do it the next time that he does it. But right there, I wasn't really in a good spot when it started, so sometimes it's just safer. Like you'd rather not die, so you can just take a little bit extra time and just avoid the mechanic if you can. Especially if you have the stacks. So right there, we just lost a bunch of stacks, so we'll do the mechanic after. Shouldn't make that mistake like I did. And this fight's gonna take you a few times to get used to, especially if it's your first time. If you don't get the clear, especially at mid-eye level, don't worry about it too much. Just have to practice. It took me a few tries to get my first clear. I'm gonna go out. So that's he's not gonna do mechanic yet. That's not good. So right there, like the biggest moves you want to avoid is the breath and this one right here that he's doing right now. Those two are the ones that one shot you. Everything else is really just chip damage. So now he's gonna start mechanic. He flips. That's going clockwise. We collected all the stacks. We're back at 5, and we got rid of the darkness stacks, which make us take more damage. Just DPS him a bit right here. Just avoid all this rain area. Try to pull him out. Kind of sucks that this thing's right here because we can't really hit him for free. There's the breath. He charges out. Perfect. Whenever he does that flip, you just want to get out of there. If you get hit by the first ground pound with no spacebar, you're gonna die, especially at mid-eye level. Right now I could probably take the hit, but you don't want to. And he's gonna dash now. Okay, I just whiffed that, but usually that's the best time to land the charge beam move safely. So I lost another stack there. This honestly is a pretty bad example. So he's gonna do the mechanic right here. So we can just grab one and then go out. He's doing the spinning. Ideally, you want to be fighting him in a spot like this because since it's so wide and open, it's easy to do the mechanic right there. It's pretty tight. There's a clear. So again, obviously I'm uh, over eye level for this fight, so it's a lot easier to do than it would be if you were under eye level. But the main principle is just you don't want to get hit by the mechanics, and it will take you a little bit longer than it did for me. Not by a whole lot. It'll probably take you like an extra like 4 minutes at most. And you just want to have good engravings. So 3-3 for Demon Hunter. Oh yeah, let me show you my gems too. When I got the clear, right now I only have a level 7 Demon Skill gem. These other gems don't really matter too much for Demon Hunter. And when I got the clear, I had a level 5 gem. So it was, let's see how much this is, 15. So I got 6% more damage with my gems since then. And I've had the same cooldown reduction skill gem for a long time. And that's pretty much it. Card set. I'm just running We'll Meet Again, Force of Giants, early game, extra healing from pots. I would recommend for minimum eye level, you definitely want to bring blue pots because the amount of chip I took right here didn't seem like too much, and I only used 2 green pots. But if I was at min eye level, I'd probably use 5 right there. Or especially over the course of the run, since it'll be longer, you're gonna have to be fighting the boss a lot longer, so it will be more difficult. And yeah, if you have any other questions, just let me know. Thanks.